What if I told you that the reason you are not making enough sales in your business, and it's not because of the sales script, it is not because of a hidden secret that you haven't figured out yet, the code that you haven't cracked yet, or magic formula. The reason why you're not making sales right now in your business has everything to do with your identity. I highly encourage you to listen to this episode in its entirety because this is the most overlooked portion of the sale and entrepreneurship. Because at some point when we start our businesses, when we're building our businesses, we forget who we are and we forget about our why. And sometimes God stops us in our track to ask a better and bigger question. Do you still want it? Is it who you are? Is it your identity? Is it my God's given identity to you? Listen, I'm starting a series, Sell the Way You Love, and this is the first part of the series. And today we're going to talk about identity. And I highly encourage you, do yourself a favor, listen or watch this episode till the end. Let me know what resonates with you, because this is the work that we have to do all the time. This work never stops, because every time we see we see the obstacle, we see the challenge, and it's actually a question and a check mark for in our journey. Do you still want this? If you still want this, then, and it's about future pacing. It's about adapting the next level of identity. Let me explain. I'm a clinical psychologist, or former clinical psychologist. When it comes to the United States, I practiced therapy for 8 years, and this is what I know about identity. Identity is a layered phenomenon. So we have our religious identity, like for example, my religious identity is a Christian. I'm progressive Christian. I am a husband. So this is my social identity. I have a husband. I have a family. I'm entrepreneur. This is my professional identity. Like, that matters to me. I want to build. Business where I build people up. When I make difference, this is my self actualization. And now, when it comes to sales, when I say that it's important for you to step into the next level of identity that actually has those sales, there are three important things to realize. When successful people who make sales, first of all, they are operating from the mindset of abundance, from the mindset act as if. And this is not an entirely spiritual thing. This is the law of reception, the law of creation, the law of attraction, whatever you want to call it. But let me give you a very practical example how it works. So now this example is not going to be relating directly to sales, but it has everything to do with your sales. For example, 11 years ago, when I was thinking about moving outside of Moscow, Russia, to another country, I started stepping inside a new identity, an identity of the person who lives outside of the United States. This is a new layer of social identity. And that new layer, and not just a person who lives outside of the United States, because I have big ambition. I'm an ambitious person. I wanted to move to another country, rebuild my career in behavioral health, whatever it looks like. Maybe not necessarily with the exact titles, but doing very similar job functions and create difference in the world. So what I did, my identity, my next level of identity that I adopted in Moscow, Russia, before I had a visa, before I had the money to move, before I have anything material, I adopted this feeling that it's already happened, and I learned the language. So when I moved here, I was already fluent in English. That was an important part, a very important part of my identity. And this is practical application because I was acting in my new identity from the place of abundance that I just know is going to work out. I just know and it's working out for me. I learned a new language. And Russian and English, they're not related almost at all. So I learned the language. So when I moved here, when I arrived here, learning a language was not an issue for me. It was just like adapting to cultural things, and that's normal. But the language itself, no, it was not a problem. Now, in your sales, when you show up with the mindset and the state of abundance, and abundance is not just about the money, abundance is about your health, abundance is about your mental health, abundance is about your happiness, abundance is about your family, abundance is about you doing what you meant to do, what you have calling to do. That's a part of abundance. And when you have this and this state of abundance, this identity of abundance, then you show up and you are not sensitive to the rejection. Because if I learn something about business for my years being in business, building my private practice back in Moscow, Russia, building my coaching process or coaching program, rejection is a part of the process. And the more you are outside of the state of abundance, the harsher you feel the rejection. But your next level of identity handles rejection peacefully. What if you already had like $9 million or whatever your number that you want to do? Like, picture that number. Like, you would handle rejection, hopefully so, smoother, easier. You will trust yourself because sales is a transference of trust. That's the most important thing. Sales is a transference of trust. We can find it in Challenger Sale Model. When it comes to psychology-driven sales, we see in economic psychology how people make a buying decision. It's a transference of trust. But until you trust yourself, until you trust your God-given identity, your God-given calling, that's rather hard for you to step into the next level of identity. And I challenge you today for your next sales call, before rehearsing or reviewing the script, like, have a meditation, have a prayer, from shifting the center on the sale to shifting the identity and the attention on the service. Because the third part of the identity, that version of yourself that is successful, that is satisfied with the sales, they actually don't need a sale. They actually show up as a whole, and it's just a question, well, do you want it or not? And of course, listen, I'm not downplaying the skill set. I'm not downplaying the skill set because the skill set is important. And then in part 2, in part 3, part 4, we're going to talk about how to handle rejections. Like methodology. We're going to talk about methodology. Don't you worry. But before the methodology, before the strategy, the clarity must be in place and your identity must be in place. So, and this is what happens on your sales call. When you show up as yourself, as your next level of identity that is abundant, and it's not just about the money, that is who is trusting himself, and the sales is a transfer of trust. And when you trust yourself, you transmit that energy that people trust you. Have you ever been on the sales call in a conversation or in online class and you have this feeling, I just trust that person. I don't even know why. I know I just met that person on the internet, but I just trust them. There's something about them that I know that I'm safe, I'm secure, they're going to deliver what they promise, and I'm just ready to pay $10,000. And it sounds a little bit cultish. Listen, I'm not going to lie. It sounds crazy. But I've done it because I had that trust in my mentors. So when you show up like that, people feel the trust, people feel the security, people people are willing to bet on themselves because again, you might suck at sales completely. You might not have that skill yet. And that might be the reason why your sales calls flop. But when you are in your next level of identity, when you are clear on your messaging, when it's so clear that it just transmits throughout your social media, transmits through your messaging, transmits through your energy. You're not pretending to be somebody. You are someone. You are someone. Then people just buy, even when you suck at sales. Because listen, let me tell you a story. When I started my business, I was not good at sales. But it required me to step into my next level of identity. Like just show up on a sales call like an abundant being, like a person who wants to serve. And you know what happens? The moment I show up with this mindset, like, I don't care if it's going to be another sale, it's probably not going to be. What I'm going to do, I'm just gonna show up, serve, and whatever happens, happens. That person did not have the money, huge money problem, by the way, and she said yes, and she paid on the call. But what was required is the next level of identity, the trust, the my mindset, my heart posture, and show up as my authentic self without reading a script, because I tried the script that it didn't work, and I tried to follow the steps. And actually, I was working with one of the sales coaches, and she said, like, Eugene, forget about the script. Just forget about this. Do you see me? Like, do you see me? Do you see me? And if you see me, you would address the red flags that arrived before. So your next step in becoming your next self, best self, first of all, it is owning your leadership. This is owning your dopeness, your expertise, and being truthful about it. And being truthful about, because it is so easy. Like, listen, if I tell you that every single day I battle with anxiety, I battle with high functioning depression in a way. And every single day, the thought that I'm not enough, that I'm not an expert, that I could have done better, that I just need to go back to corporate, that I don't know anything about sales, like that I fail as a psychologist, that I fail in my business because my pivot was not planned correctly. And this is why I'm not qualified to teach people how to like build their future anymore or help anyone. You wouldn't believe it, but this is my daily work to step into my next level of identity, God's given identity, and serve the people I'm called to serve. Owning my expertise, owning my 10 years of experience in psychology, owning my expertise even in tech too. Because for 9 years in tech, I was mentoring, I was building teams, I was building people up. Owning my success in my business, in my career coaching business. When I delivered results, I sold high ticket coaching program. Owning my results with my clients who made 24K in one single day, who became the expert, the experts and the well-recognized authority in their field. That's about identity. So my call to you, my call to action for this episode, for this video, is to own your next level of identity. My call to action for you is, first of all, share with me in a DM. Send me a DM. Send me drop a comment what resonates with you, because we don't like in this sales world we don't talk about identity a lot. And also, if you are an entrepreneur and you would like to close more sales, you would like to increase your conversion rates, I'm offering a month of one-on-one mentorship and coaching around sales. So this is how I work with entrepreneurs. First of all, we are dissecting your sales goals. And if you don't have recordings, it's not a problem, but I will encourage you to record your sales goals. So if it is something that you would like to look into it, and you have a sales goal, like before you enroll, just go ahead and record that sales goal, because I will review your sales goals personally and I will provide feedback. Also, another thing, and we're going to work together. We're going to have a call every single week. We work shoulder to shoulder, side by side. I am in this with you. This is how I like to work with my people. So we have a call, and again, it is intensive mentorship, intensive training, when we do a lot of role play, when we look into your sales strategy, when we look into your qualifications. Because before the sales call, right? Before the sales call, we need to make sure that you're priming your people before the sales call really well. And so we can illuminate a lot of money objections, a lot of time objections, a lot of commitment objections, a lot of authority objections before the call. And so when you're on the call, you can actually close people a little bit easier. And also, I'm working with you on reframing, so anticipating objections, because a lot of the time it's not you presenting the offer, it's actually overcoming people's fear and working with a psychology driven, identity driven sales. So that's what we're going to work together. And also, outside of our calls, my DMs are open, so we're gonna have communication in the DM. I enjoy talking with my clients with the DM. It's not just you have like a call once a week for a month and then you're done. No, I want to hear your progress. I want to hear your DM conversations. Sometimes what I do with my clients, I they send me a DM and they present me an example of DM conversation, and I guide them what is the best way to answer that, to handle this DM conversation so it leads to sale, or if it could lead to sale. So again, 48 to 72 hours to respond. So it's not ChatGPT. But again, if you have more primary, more elite client, let's say you say, hey, like this client is going to close for sure, but I just need a little bit more help. That would be really, really good for you. So the way you can enroll, click the link in the description so you can enroll. There will be a checkout page, and then after you complete the checkout, there will be a calendar link where you can book your appointment with me, and we start working together. Also, if you have questions, if you want to make sure, like I will 100% see that. But if you're that person, like, oh, I want to make sure that Eugene knows, send me a DM, say, hey, I'm interested, I want to enroll. Or if you have questions, you can ask me questions in the DMs. My DMs are open. Or if you want to send me a heads up, like, hey, I'm about to sign up, like, just want to make sure that you know, send me a DM, sign up, and well, I'm looking forward to start working with you together. So also tune in for my next episode, because in my next episode, we are going to talk about money objection. It's going to be really good. And in fact, we're going to do several episodes on money objections, because sometimes it is the gap, sometimes the authority, sometimes they're all other things. So stay tuned. So after that, in the series Sell the Way You Love, we're going to dive into practical examples, but it starts with your identity. See you there.